Welcome to the very first ever episode of Straight from the Streets.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited.
I'm so excited because we've been working on this for weeks. We're finally here, episode 1.
Episode 1.
Yep.
Wow, of many to come.
Yeah, so Rob Petree and I'm Angela Keiko. We will be out in the community, just asking people out on the streets questions about stories that we're working on. Lighthearted questions.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm approaching 10 years in this business and, of reporting. Mm-hmm. And every time I get out there and I interview the people, it takes, no matter what it is, it takes a story from here and it brings it all the way up here. Because why? You never know what people are going to say, how people are going to react, and the things that come out of people's mouth. I mean, it's just hilarious. So in talking with Angela, we were like, you know what? Let's think of a way where we can get out there and we can get people to react to things because it's just great, the greatest news and everything. I mean, you open up social media, you've got people doing that left and right. So why not take that and apply it here locally on this great app that gives us so much different opportunity to get real creative and unique. So this is something that I am just so excited to be a part of. But this is really your passion project. We wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here right now doing this if it wasn't for you, Angela. So hats off to you.
Thank you.
For coming up with this and making me a part of it. I'm just so excited.
I could not ask for a better co-host. You know exactly what to say, the right questions to ask. So let's just get straight to the story that we're talking about first today. So our Hope Winter at News 4 did a story about a time capsule.
Really cool job.
A 4th grade class in Williamsville, they dug up a time capsule from the year 2000. So
wow, 25 years later.
Yes. So there was like Beanie Babies in there, and the kids were so funny when they were asked, what do you think about the stuff you found in here from the past? And
Matchbox cars. I had a whole big thing of Hot Wheels. I kid you not, I know it would have been worth some money today. And I sold it at a yard sale for $20 to go and play bingo.
I sold all my Beanie Babies at a yard sale for $1. I had like 20 of them.
Why? It makes me sick when I think about that, to how much they would have been worth today, and Matchbox cars included. I had Matchbox and CDs they found in there. Wow,
yeah.
CDs. I can't even
the
imagine.
Kids were shocked that the kids of the year 2000 didn't have Chromebooks, and they had to write everything down. They couldn't believe it.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, the carpal tunnel.
Have you ever buried a time capsule?
No, I have not.
Okay, I don't think I have. But
a sock doesn't count, right?
No,
I put toys.
I
put toys in a sock when I was like, I was a kid, like 8 or 9 years old, and buried it out somewhere in the yard. I don't think that counts. And I never did find it.
If someone finds it, it counts.
If someone.
It depends how many years go by. But I remember in 7th grade, our teacher made us write a letter to our future selves. And I have no idea what I wrote, and they promised they were going to mail it to us in 20 years.
No way.
And I was at the same address 20 years later, but I never got the letter.
You never got the letter?
I might have made better life choices had I gotten the letter.
See, now I'd call the school and be like, what's up? I want to know what I said. Hello? Like,
the advice that, I'm sorry, old Angela. I have no clue what you said.
That's something you've been looking forward to your whole life, huh?
It was.
What a letdown.
Yeah.
Awful.
So let's take a look. Before we continue, we did go out on the streets. We did ask people, what they would put in a time capsule today to be dug up in 25 years. We've got a lot of crazy, fun answers.
Yeah.
But first,
this is what led to our idea to get out there and ask this question. Is the great job that Hope Winter did.
Yes. So let's take a look at Hope Winter's package, and then we'll continue after this. Take a look.
I learned a lot about back then and what they had and what they didn't have, and have a better picture of that time now.
In 2000, 4th graders of Maple East Elementary and Canterbury Woods created a time capsule with items of the present. 25 years later, Maple East 4th graders and residents of Canterbury Woods gathered together to dig up the past.
I think a lot of the things are similar. Like, they play with Pokemon cards now, and Pokemon cards were relevant back 25 years ago. Beanie Babies, and they have plushies.
4th grade students pulled pieces of history out of this time capsule, which taught them lessons of what life was like 25 years ago.
Well, they didn't really watch as much learning videos. because there wasn't a lot of internet.
Definitely had to work way harder. You couldn't just go like to a Chromebook and say, oh, hey, look, I found the answer.
We only had like paper books, no dock cameras, no like Chromebooks.
The capsule contained newspaper articles, Pokemon cards, Beanie Babies, both the Bills and Sabres rosters, a CD to connect to the internet, and more. Along with the trinkets, nursing home residents in 2000 shared timeless advice.
True and beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
After learning what life was like 25 years ago, this is the advice these students would give students sitting in their seats in 2050.
Be on electronics all the time.
Always respect your parents.
Stay healthy and like be kind. Work hard in school and be kind to everyone because it's just better to be nice.
Reporting in Williamsville, Hope Winter, News 4.
Wow. You know what really gets me about all of this, Angela, is the fact that I would have been I could have been in elementary school putting these things in that time capsule that would then be up. Where did the time go? Blink. And here I'm 30. I'll be 31 on Saturday. I just can't believe how fast time has gone. It feels just like yesterday. I was in school with them. It's like, what?
And the kids were so cute, and they had advice that they read, similar advice that they'd give in 25 years. It's those are the time lasting things, is those pieces of advice.
Yeah.
The Pokemon cards got to be worth something now.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Sure. Yeah. I had Pokemon cards. That really what I got into was the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I had a plethora of Yu-Gi-Oh cards too. And then what really got me was the CD that to connect to the internet. Oh my goodness. My grandmother had a whole drawer filled of those things.
The kids probably couldn't even wrap their head around what that even means.
I know, to think of that, and then where we're at right now with Wi-Fi is just crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. So we did go out on the streets. We were asking people, what do they think things like that will look like in the future? For some reason, everybody that we talked to thought things were going to float. Everything's going to hover in 25 years.
It was so surprising.
Their cars, their phones, everything's going to hover. So take a look. We heard straight from the streets about things that are going to be floating in the future.
Dial-up service.
Dial-up service?
Yep, and a rotary phone.
No, they said from today.
From today.
Oh, from today.
Yeah.
Like the iPhones, because I want them to struggle. That's why I said that. So the iPhone, because when these little ones get bigger, it's going to be something different. So I would like to put an iPhone in there, a bus pass.
Now, if you had to put on your psychic cap, so to speak, what do you think the phones would look like 20 years
They probably would be floating in the air, and you could just let it levitate. It could levitate. I'm saying the phone would actually float in front of them while they,
Wow. How much would you be willing to spend on something like that?
Nothing. I'm old.
Put some J's in there, some shoes.
You would?
Yeah, I'll put some shoes in there. It'll be worth a lot of money once you open it.
And you know what I've been asking people is, everything that everybody says that they would put in the time capsule, they agree that whatever it is, 20 years from now, it's going to evolve into something completely different. What do you think shoes are going to look like in 20, 25 years?
I feel like we probably won't even be having shoes.
Really?
I feel like we'd be floating.
We're going to be floating?
We'll have something that we'll hover on. Something we can hover on. I don't know.
There goes my leg pain.
Something we can hover on.
What do you think, if you had to guess, what do you think phones are going to look like in 20 years from now?
Shit, they damn near might be droids. Have a own remote control, like flying around, taking pictures. You never know now and then.
I'd buy one, wouldn't you?
And then might could turn into a car.
Wow. What the one woman said was what really got me. She said, I believe that phones are just going to be right in front of you. That to me, it's I hope not, because I'd never stop watching TikTok. I'd be walking out in the middle of the street, not even paying attention, just scrolling with my nose as I walk, boom, I hit a pole or a wall or something. Wow, I hope that's not where phones go.
Well, 80s movies, they had, the watches that we wear now.
Right.
And we just thought that was a science fiction.
I
but
know.
now we have the watches. You
We
said
do.
you would you would put that in the time capsule.
I would put a watch in the time capsule. Absolutely. We didn't. I didn't think we got any of those when we were out talking to people for the watches. Definitely a lot of phones and everything. I think one of the things I would put in there would be a driver's license, because I'm trying to think, okay, like what is not gonna look the way it does right now 20 some years from now. And a number of states have the option, where I came from, Delaware does, certainly, because I know this because I lost my I lost my license not long after I moved here. They have a digital version of it. So I don't think the driver's licenses are going to look the same. I think they're all going to be digital.
Or we might be chipped. They could just scan our
I'm
wrist.
going to tell you right now, ain't no one sticking no chip in me. If I have to have a chip to buy bread or something like that, then then I'm gonna go hungry.
I won't mind getting chipped, because guess what? If they're watching me, they're watching me. I'm not doing anything exciting.
I don't.
And it
I
would
don't
just
like
make everything so much easier.
I don't like the idea of being chipped.
I would put.
I'll
in
wear
there,
something before I'll insert something, if that makes sense.
That does make sense, but you know what? That might be the law in 25 years. You never know.
Ooh,
They
I
might
don't
make
know.
you get the chip.
It's that time to build that log cabin in the middle of
I would
nowhere.
put things in there that the one thing I'd put in there that I think in 25 years they'd be like, "What the heck is this?" I wear those little pimple patches that are shaped like a star.
Oh, right.
Then there's stars all over your face. I think in 25 years they'd be like, "What?" They were walking around with those on their faces.
I know. I wonder with toothpaste and toothbrushes, if you just pop something in your mouth, fizzes.
Do you
spit it
remember
out,
those
rinse.
Listerine strips? I wonder if they still make those.
I don't see those around. I saw something online about those, and it was like
Solidified
you took
mouthwash.
everything from us or something. So I don't think they are available anymore. I don't know. I think personal hygiene items are something that are going to continue to evolve, because that's something where it's like, okay, well, of a convenience, right?
I mean, I hope with the pimple patches, acne's cured by then. Fingers crossed for future teens and adults with acne. I also would put a Stanley cup in there.
A Stanley
Stanley
cup.
tumblers. I don't personally have one because I like a water bottle that goes up to 60 ounces and they only go up to 40. But it is a sign of the times. My daughter has one in every color. What do you need so many water bottles for?
Well, I think a lot of the answers that we got had to do with electronics, right, and technology, because 20 years ago, we didn't have the technology we have now. So obviously, people's minds go to, okay, well, how is that going to continue to advance? Because that has such a stranglehold on our society. Technologically, we're so intertwined with technology today that it's nobody's guess that's only going to continue to advance.
Well, with AI and everything else, it's definitely going to look way different in 25 years. But we did hear straight from the streets about the different electronics that people would put into the time capsule. Take a look.
Coming from your industry, actually, I would say the size of the cameras that you use right now, because they're just getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So be like, what do you do with this big thing? Similar to when we had VCRs compared to DVD players. So yeah, I'd say one of the big massive cameras that the news stations currently use.
Well, look at what she's got right here. Look at this tiny little camera.
I would maybe put an old flip phone in the time capsule to see what it does.
Because they'll probably be obsolete.
Yeah, at that point, yeah.
Like a game console controller, like from our generation of game consoles, I think that would be something that they'd be like, what is this? It'll probably be touchscreen or eye tracking or something in 10 years. So I feel like
Xbox or PlayStation 5?
I'm a PlayStation guy. So I don't know about anybody else, but I'm a PlayStation
So that's
guy.
the one you put in there?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there was an episode of Black Mirror where, they put this little disc on their head and they kind of pass out or something, and that's how they play the video game.
Exactly. So I'm thinking that our reality would be more in tune of what we've seen on TV and visuals, rather than what we have now. Sitting at a TV with a traditional console, I think it's going to change.
Probably an AirTag, like an Apple AirTag. Yeah.
Okay.
It's an Apple product. They probably don't really know what it is.
Well, they'll never lose the time
And
capsule.
they'll never, yeah, exactly. I'll find it. So.
My Apple Watch, because I can only imagine what watches are going to look like 20, 25 years from now.
And I do also have a Google Watch, and I probably would put it in there because I never use it.
Yeah, what are watches
They
going
better
to look like?
make
Are they
those
going to
better.
is it going to float and the screen's going to just pop up on the top of your wrist or something like that? How cool would that be, though? Right?
Right. If you just saw like a screen sitting in front of you, like a hologram.
Right. It's not under your skin. It's something that like you wear. Imagine your watch is right here, right? And then there's something right here that shoots like a light. And you could just do or something like that. Okay, I'm done. That would be kind of cool, right? I just don't like the idea of sticking something inside my body. I mean, I'm also the type where if I can avoid it, I don't talk with my phone up to my head because I mean, smartphones emit a certain level of radiation. So I'm like, okay, I don't want, but that's just me being a worrywart.
You might feel different in 25 years or your future kids.
I'm being attacked by my cord here. Oh, there we go. See, we won't have those in 20 years. I can tell you that.
The camera, you got to adjust the camera.
Oh, no.
You knocked it over.
Oh, dear. Uh-oh. See, you know what? We roll with the punches. We're having fun here.
Yeah, exactly. First episode glitches. Okay. But yes, so the way we communicate is going to be different in
Big
25
time.
years.
Yeah, and they alluded to that, like with newspapers and everything. The newspaper industry has really been forced to evolve, with more of a focus online. That whole thing about, let me, with the, in the movies and the old TV shows, they're starting their day off at the kitchen table reading the newspaper. You don't see that anymore. No, they've got their Kindles or they're with the phone and everything. So how people consume their media. I mean, just the fact what we're doing right now. We're on an app. There's been a shift to a focus of streaming. In the media landscape. So things continue to evolve, and it's not going to be the way it is right now 20 years from now because it's not.
I knew that in school, so I had an opportunity. While I was in college, I went to college late, so this was a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. They said that the Buffalo News, it was still in Buffalo at the time, was looking for writers for their summer guide, the Gusto 2023 summer guide or something like that. And I thought, I have to write an article for this because I want to be printed in the newspaper and just say that I was before they are obsolete. So I wrote a silly little article about, the best places in Buffalo to get a root beer float. But I was so proud of that. I have it framed because we don't know if newspapers will be around in 25 years. But I have an article in the newspaper, and I'm so proud of that.
I hope so. I think it will be. It just won't be the way. And we've already seen that a little bit, right? The different media avenues. You could say the same for radio. Radio used to, everyone used to have the radio on in the car. How many people just, plug their phone in and have Apple CarPlay now? So how do you evolve and how do you adapt and how do you leverage social media and the streaming landscape to adapt and evolve? So that's something to think about too. And some people definitely alluded to that. So,
yeah.
I'm in no rush to get to 20 years from now. Seriously, I'm about to turn 31 in a couple days, and I can't believe that.
I turned 39 last week. I don't want to hear it.
Well, you look really good for 39.
But yes, we did hear from a lot of people about the way we communicate. So we're going to take a look at that right now, how we're going to communicate.
First thing, probably a newspaper, because I think that would be super interesting for kids in the future, to see the craziness that's going on in our world.
You think in 25 years there wouldn't even be any newspaper?
There may not be newspapers.
Gosh, I feel like even paper and pencil at this point, to be honest with you, because everybody's using tablets and everything else, Like, wait a minute, you could write with just this little tiny wooden thing? What's wood?
I think that was a little of a stretch. I think we'll still have wood. But yes, I think she was getting at, writing with wood. They're going to say you had wood with the stuff in there and you were putting it on a piece of paper because everything is written digitally now.
Yeah, I can't imagine writing an essay nowadays. Like, and I have nieces that are in, I say they're my nieces, they're really my cousins. I'm really close with my cousin who I call my sister. And she's got 3 girls and they're all in school. And the amount of work that they do on tablets and laptops, they rarely ever write anything out. I mean, it's so technologically focused right now in schools, at least back home in Maryland where they are.
I barely type on my phone. I use talk to text, and I love it.
See, I don't know. I don't think it ever. It never gets the way I want it. So I don't really use that.
You have to go back and edit it.
I've got fast fingers. You know?
So one final clip we've got when we went out to the streets. We were at McCarthy Park, I believe.
Oh, I love this one.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
This was the best answer we got. Take a look and see what this man said he would do for his enemies in the future for the time capsule. So we're asking people, if you were to bury a time capsule today, what's the number one thing you would put in there where kids 25 years from now would say, what the heck is that?
I would probably have a disc of me saying all the people I didn't like, calling them names and everything.
You would watch.
So that their kid can dig it up in 25 years.
Now this is what I really thought of you, but in those years. I'm gone, you can't do anything to me. You know, something of that nature. I've got a friend of mine, Jeff Liebner, who has a time capsule. He coached a baseball team called the Del Sassers. And nobody knows what a Del Sasser is but him, and when he dies, his time capsule is going to open, and we'll find out what a Del Sasser means as a baseball team.
Wow.
Del Sassers.
He gives me life. I like him.
He was so funny. It was so unexpected. And we Googled Del Sassers and baseball because we're like, what the heck could this be?
I had no idea.
So there was a baseball player named Mackie Sasser, and he was in Major League Baseball in the 90s. He retired in 2022 as a head coach. But then where does the Del come in? So I'm like, Mackie Sasser. And then when we Googled Del Sassers, there was a lot of different songs titled Del Sassers.
Wow.
So, yeah, including like a really old jazz composition that didn't have any lyrics or words, and it was called Del Sasser. So
yeah, but there's nothing like definitive though. And he made it sound like it was something local. Like, you know, like it was something that had to do with the area, and we couldn't pinpoint that.
Maybe somebody watching knows.
Yeah, let us know. Email us if you know what a Del Sasser is. Sasser, sassy. He was sassy. He said, what did he say? He said he wanted to let everybody who
his enemies know.
Anybody who did him wrong, he put that in there and call him out in 20. Well, you know, if they're still around, you know,
that's so funny. My disc would be so long. There's so many people I'd like to tell them
I just want him to, you know, to give a few people a phone call for me.
Yeah, and it was funny because he wasn't somebody that I thought to interview. He was walking by, you know, just walking a little slow, and you were like, "Oh my God, that guy!" And he just ended up being the best answer.
Oh, he just walked with such authority. I'm like, "Oh yeah, we got to go talk to him.
Yeah,
like, let's do it."
So,
sure enough,
yeah,
best answer.
So, I mean, we should think about burying a time capsule now, a News 4 time capsule.
That's actually not a bad idea, and I think a lot of people here on the team would be really enthusiastic about that.
I think so too. We kind of have we have a basement here of all of our old footage on like the big reels and tapes and things.
Yeah, hey, absolutely. So that would be really cool because, hey, you know what we were just talking about a little bit ago. It's not going to be the way it is right now 20 years from now. If we just look back at the landscape and the media industry as a whole, whether it be TV, radio, you're always forced to evolve. So that's not a bad idea. That'd be something else, right?
Bury it out in the back parking lot.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and then come get a jackhammer 20 years. They might not even have jackhammers. Who knows? You know, just with a laser. You know, I don't know.
Yep. Well, something
maybe it'll float. You know, a lot of people thought it was going to float. Now I want a root beer float. How about that?
That's the next thing for the break room. We just got a new coffee machine. We love it. Root beer float machine. It's summertime.
Wow. So this was really cool, though.
Yes.
I really enjoyed talking to people.
Episode in the bag.
Yes. There it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, and we're coming to a neighborhood near you.
Yes. So look for Rob and I out in your community. We're going to hear straight from the streets. We have questions for you. So thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Bye-bye.